Okay, this video is going to show how to match method calls with method headers or declarations. The key thing to remember is that the method call is the code that will come before, chronologically, it will come before the method header or declaration. And so, as we look at this, if we start with the first one, we're looking for a method named compute. Now all of these method headers have the method named compute, so that's not going to be an issue in any of these. But what you do is you look at the arguments. That's going to be a key thing. And then there's one more thing to look at as well. So we're going to be passing a string and an int to the parameter variables in the method header. So we're passing a string and an int. And so what you're looking for is, in the parentheses of the method header, you're looking for two parameter variables. The first one a string, the second one an int. And so where does that happen? Well, it happens here, and that looks like that's the only place. So this is going to pretty much give it away, and so that's why F is the correct answer. Now in the second one, we're just passing one variable or one argument, and that's a string. So that we're looking for just one string being in the parentheses, and the only place that takes place is right here. And so K, that's why K is the correct answer. Now the third one introduces really the final consideration, and that is this. You'll notice that these method calls are on the line of code by themselves. In this case, the method call is assigned to a variable. That means that the method call has a return value, just like variable calls have return values. So that means that after the method header, or the compute method completes its instructions, it will return a value. Let's say it could be 15.3. It's going to return a value which is going to be the return value of that method call, and then it will store it in num2. So now num2 will be storing 15.3. And so what you need is notice in these two, in F, that the return type, which is right before the name of the method, the return type is void when there is no return value. So if a method call is on a line by itself, then we know then that it's going to be void for the return type in the method header. So that means here that the return type, there's going to be a return type other than void. Well, how do you know what the return type is? Is it an int because the argument's an int, or is it a double because the return value is going to be stored in the double? Well, it is the second one. It's because the return value is going to be assigned to this variable. It's whatever this data type is, has to be the data type in the return type position of the method header. And so first of all, we're looking for ints, in one int as a parameter variable. So here's one int, then here's one int, and here's one int. Alright, so now, but the return type has to be double. So in here, there is no return type, so this is not going to work. And then in this one, the return type is an int, so that's not going to work. But in this one, the return type is a double, so L is going to work. Alright, so let's just look at So we know that these are going to be void, 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 void. All right, and you're looking. So I don't think I'm going to explain all these. I think we've seen how it works. So you're looking for just one parameter variable. It's a double here and here, and then the first one's an int. The second parameter variable is a double. But let's just look at this line again, just to make sure we understand this. This is not going to have a void in the method header because its return value has to be assigned to a variable, and so the variable that the return value is going to be assigned to is an int. So we're looking for an int in the return type position, but first you want to look for the double as a parameter variable in the parentheses of the method header. So here's a double, and here's a double, and here's a double. Alright, so these are your three possibilities. But we're looking for int in the as the return type. So if you look here, the return type is a double, so that's not going to work. Then you go to this one, int is the return type, this is the one that's going to work. So that's why 6 is G. Alright, and of course this one's void, so that's not going to work. Alright, so that's how it goes, and so hopefully that helps you understand how to match method calls with their method headers.